Welcome, everyone. I am Senator Jackie Rosen, of course, here with the wonderful Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, and we're here to do your weekly Battleborn update. Every Wednesday, since I've been here in the Senate with Catherine, we've been welcoming all of you to the Senate with coffee and donuts, doing a weekly breakfast. It's a long tradition that just started before us, and we've decided to continue. And we get a chance to meet with you, talk with you about what we're doing, and welcome you to the Capitol and your little piece of Nevada here. So we're trying to do that during the pandemic by doing it virtually. So here we are. And I want to tell you, we're so happy Nevada is opening up. We just started into phase 2. And I read today that the DMV is opening up. And so we never thought we'd be so happy to wait in line again at the DMV, but we're glad that it's open up because it means that we're on our road to recovery. And we have to protect lives, we have to protect livelihoods, we have to go back to that. And every small victory gets us one step closer as we work our way with the scientists towards therapies and treatments and an ultimate vaccine to rid us of this awful pandemic. And we've had some other things going on as well. Of course, we've had protests all across the country talking about systemic racism as it relates to our police departments and our justice system. And we're going to have those conversations because they're important, and we're going to do that together as friends and allies. And this week, the Senate passed unanimous resolution marking Juneteenth, Independence Day, that recognizes that June 19th, 1865, it was the date of which the news that ended slavery reached the slaves across the country. So we honor that by our words, our deeds, and our actions, and we will continue to listen and partner going forward.
Right, and thank you, Jackie. It's always great to work with you, even though we're still at a distance right now. But yes, let me just say, Juneteenth, 1865, that was the year after Nevada became a state.
That's right.
You know, it is so important now that we really focus on what is happening in our communities. Right now, Jackie, as you know, we're in the middle of a healthcare crisis, which is caused an economic crisis. And now we see a civil rights crisis, this issue that we are all so compassionate about, and really kind of listening to our members of our Black community about what they have been living with in their communities when it comes to systemic racism. And now it's time. You know, last week I will tell you it was a tough week. I marched here in Washington on that Saturday. I went over on to 16th Street. The mayor here has put Black Lives Matter on 16th Street. And if you haven't seen it, it's been all over the news. So, and she calls it Black Lives Matter Plaza. So I went over there and protested with so many incredible people on Saturday. And then following that, I had the opportunity to visit with some of our members of our Black community in Nevada, students at UNR who are fighting for change there. And equality, and then some families who have been devastated, lost loved ones were killed at the hands of police, or there's been police brutality to their loved ones and their families. And so it really required us all to really understand the moment, what's happening here, and why there's this demand for change, and then working together towards that change. And I think from what I'm hearing and seeing in Nevada, there are so many incredible people coming forward to work together on this issue. And it is important that this Friday, Juneteenth, we also recognize the celebration and why it is so important that we all work together for this change. So I so appreciate all of your work, Jackie, and what you've done as well.
Well, and of course, we're still fighting the pandemic. So I hope everybody's wearing their mask, they're washing their hands. We've been talking to so many doctors and scientists across all of our committees, and they're saying that simple act can cut the transmission of the disease, in some cases by almost 90%. I tell everyone, I said, if you knew that you could go to the bank with $1 and I would give you 90 free cents, you would run to the bank. That's a pretty good return on investment. So we have to think about wearing those masks as investing in the people we love in our community, or those kids who are on chemotherapy, or someone that's a diabetic, or someone who has an older relative that can't protect themselves as well. And so we're going to do that to be kind and to the ones we love, and maybe the ones we don't know but somebody else loves. So that's really important. But Catherine and I, we were happy to announce over $300,000 coming in grant funding to Nevada's small and medium manufacturers, including in rural Nevada. This is a way, some of those businesses, they're creating the PPE, that personal protective equipment that we all need up and down the state. We have the Health Heroes Act that we've put out, Health Heroes 2020. That's going to address healthcare workforce disparities. We know that we need more people to do what we're going to do, to take care of folks. And as we expand telehealth and telemedicine, more people are getting care. We're going to make that permanent the best way we can. So we need more people to deliver those services. So we're happy to be on that. And some of the other things we're on top of mind as we're questioning in so many of our committees, wildfire season is starting. So we want to be sure that those first responders, those firefighters that are going out, wildfires or earthquakes in Nevada, it can be hurricanes or floods and other places. How is FEMA going to respond and protect those folks who are protecting us? Because we have those natural disasters. But we have every week we get a chance to read a letter. And so we get so many. I think between our offices, we're probably getting over 10,000 emails a week. I know I'm getting 5,000 to 6,000. Catherine's getting about the same. So we pick a letter, and this one is about that PPE and why it's so important. So it's from Lydia Henderson, and this is what she writes to us. Families in my community are scared. We're scared of getting sick, and we're scared of what is happening to our economy. We need your help in Washington, D.C., and we need it fast. The only way to keep our families and our communities safe and strong is to fund the front lines. Businesses are shuttered, and companies have either laid off or furloughed their employees. Our tax base is crumbling at exactly the moment that demand for public services is increasing. Shamefully, our frontline workers still can't get access to the PPE and medical equipment they need to keep our communities safe and protect themselves on the job. I'm asking for your help to lead the charge for a new aid package that will put working families first. I'm asking you to fund the front lines. And that's from Lydia and Henderson to Catherine and I. And those are the things that we've been working on. And I know Catherine's, we're on so many committees. What are some of the things that your committees have been focused on into your questioning this week?
Listen, I, first of all, so appreciate the letter, because I get those similar letters. And you're right, we're still in the middle of a healthcare crisis. We need to fund PPE. We need to take care of those that are on the front line. I will tell you, we all have a responsibility, and I so appreciate you, Jackie, bringing this up, to wear a mask. I wear my mask. When I'm not here in my office, I'm out on the floor of the Senate, I'm wearing my mask. When I'm in the grocery store, I'm wearing my mask. Anytime I'm out, when I protested, I was wearing my mask. It is so important. It's not just our responsibility, but we got to remember, like Jackie said, there are others who are going home to maybe somebody who's vulnerable, has an immune deficiency problem, or is just very vulnerable, and we want to protect them as well. With that said, more needs to be done in a stimulus package. Yes, we need another package coming out of Congress that supports our essential frontline workers, gives them all the support they need. But we also need to fund our state and local governments, because our frontline workers really are employed by state and local governments. And as everyone knows, we are reading the paper here locally in Nevada, and our fiscal year is ending and our new one's starting July 1st, and we have budget holes because of COVID-19 and a lack of revenue coming into the state. So Jackie and I have demanded that we actually fight for legislation that happens now. We can't wait. We have to be funding our state and local governments now. We can't wait. And unfortunately, too many of our colleagues want to wait. This is a priority. It's a bipartisan priority across the country. So I so appreciate the letter, because if we're really going to address this health crisis and this pandemic, we still got to focus on it. That will help us bring our economy back and help us address so many of the other things that we're seeing right now. So thank you for the letter.
Well, and I just want to say that Catherine and I and our teams up and down the state of Nevada, here in Washington, they are your teams. We are here for you. We are Nevada strong. We've been through challenges before, and we have always gotten through them together. That's how we work. We're on 10 committees between Catherine and I, separate committees, so Nevada's voice could be spread on as many committees. We're on about 20 subcommittees, many task force and caucuses. So Nevada presence is everywhere we can be, and your voices are in the room. So when you contact us, when you write, when you call, email, whatever that is, we hear you and our teams work together. I'm going to give that plug right now that I always do for our websites. Cortez Masto, it's Senate, cortezmasto.senate.gov and rosen.senate.gov. These are our websites. They are there for you. You can go to either one. We have portals there for all kinds of information about COVID in English and Spanish. There's 15 to 20 links, frequently asked questions. We have portals if you're a small business owner, that information specifically for small businesses and how you get the help, that idle money and paycheck protection program money, the PPP money that you hear about. And then if you need any other kind of help, our contact information is on there. You call us, you write us, we read them, our teams read them. We are as strong as your stories. So it's rosen.senate.gov, cortezmasto.senate.gov. Use them. We're here, use these and use our websites. And we're going to get through this together.
We are, and thank you. Thanks for everybody for joining us. So appreciate it.